Hazy, help me! Hazy, help me! Hazy, help me! That is what I get from a lot of people regarding how can I find hitting 180s easier or even being able to hit my first ever 180. Well, this video is going to give you some tips to work on progressing on hitting more 180s. Let's get into it. Now, the first thing you need to understand when you're trying to get more maximum scores is to work out whereabouts would you need your first dart to be in that treble 20 bed. Now, if we look at the dartboard, which by the way is the brand new Harrows Fortis board, which has only come out yesterday, and so far I am loving it. It looks amazing, it pops, the numbering is quality as well. But we're just going to look at that treble 20 segment, okay? Now, everybody who is new to darts would think, oh, just get it in that treble 20 bed and then you're going to be fine. You'll be able to follow it and use it as a marker and blah, 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 blah. Well, it's not necessarily that easy. Now, we know that you can't necessarily just place it in the dartboard and have that as a marker, okay? But you need to understand how your darts go into the ball. Now, I'm going to stand over here, and we're not going to look at what is playing here. And I'm going to give you 3 examples of players that have different markers when they're aiming for the treble 20 bed. Now, the first guy we're going to look at is Nathan Aspinall, okay? Nathan Aspinall throws a very top-heavy dart, which basically means his darts stand up in the board. So with his dart standing up in the board, he wants his first dart to basically sit just under that top wire. The reason why is because then it shows him all of that bed that he can then follow it, and it's a good guide to put the other 2 darts in. However, the next player we're going to look at is Jan van Veen. Now, if you look at Jan van Veen's darts, his go in at a much flatter trajectory. Another player who's similar to that is also Keane Barry. So if they, for example, had their first treble 20 that went here, similar to where Nathan Aspinall's was, in actual fact, that almost blocks the whole of that treble 20 bed if you're looking straight on. So where they aim, is on that bottom wire, because that then leaves a lot more of the bed open, and they can then, what they like to say, is stack above that first dart. Also similar to Phil the Power Taylor. Then you have players like Luke Humphries, who just makes it work either way. When you're talented, you're talented. This boy can understack, he can overstack, he can do whatever he wants. He's a joke, but not everyone's like that. So the long and short of it is, the first tip you need to know is to know how your darts go in the board and where your perfect first dart would be. So using what we've just found out, okay, this is now tip number 1, and it's a big, big, big tip. All I want you to do is get another dart and place it where it would be the perfect marker for you. For me, I'm similar to Nathan Aspinall. That would be my ideal marker. So using that, what you now want to do is aim for that dart, okay? You want to use that dart. A lot of people, when they're trying to hit treble 20s after having a marker like that, would aim for the treble 20. It sounds silly, but just aim to hit that marker. Hitting that marker gives you a bigger gap that you can afford to miss the treble 20 on, for it to still go in using the deflection of the marker. They were terrible. As an example, doing this will also massively help with your grouping, because even from the first dart, you have now got a focus point. You see, I just changed how that dart was situated, so I could tell that in actual fact it was slightly too flat, which was then blocking the bed a little bit for me. But now, hopefully, when I hit that dart, when I hit that dart, oh my goodness. There you go, I did it with the third dart. When I hit that dart, it will now go into that treble 20 bed. Another example. Even though I'm not throwing very well, you're still seeing me get probably more trebles than I would have done if I didn't have that marker in there. That is why it's so important that when you get yourself a marker, that you use it. Exhibit A there. Oh mate, the rest of the darts are so bad today though. So there's 2 examples out of those 3. Now this tip goes very, very well with my second tip that we're now going to get onto. So the second thing that I would say that is going to help you get used to hitting more 180s is to take that marker out, and now when you get one of the trebles in there, leave it in the board. So then you'll be down to 2 darts and then 1 dart. This will just get you used to smashing the other dart that you have left, or 2 darts you have left, into that marker that you have thrown in, not that it's set there for you. So I've done that on purpose because I didn't want to necessarily pile in more than 1 treble. So that treble, or that dart, is in that treble. I'm leaving that in the board. So now that dart is my guide. I'm now going to use that. Oh, that's unlucky. But there you go, that's the second treble. See what I'm saying? 1 dart, and I tell you what, if I pin it with this dart, this is the perfect example. I've got 1 in first go, then I've got my second one in next go, third go, please be in that treble, and this will be perfect. What was that?
A few moments later.
And there you go, you see? All of those darts are on top of each other because I've used the markers that I have personally hit. But don't get it wrong, it doesn't always go to plan. Let's say, for example, I hit a treble, like that, and it isn't necessarily the perfect marker for me. Now, I'll be honest, that is quite a good marker, but can I take use of it? Yes, I can. Let's see if we can complete it one after the other. And once again, that is again a really good marker for me because on that top wire, can I use them? That is, wow, the perfect example for how I'm saying that this game is going to help you, because I had no pressure throwing that last dart, and normally if you'd go 1, 2 in the treble, some of you then might take a pause, might stop, might take a breath. Just stay in your rhythm. Right there is the prime example. I got 1 in that first go, I then got the second one in on the second go, and then with that last dart, I then piled it in as well. That right there is a perfect scenario for how a 180 can be used if you use your own markers. This goes on to my third really important tip that I would suggest. You need to stay in rhythm, okay? Now, a lot of players, when they're going for doubles, okay, they would step back, take a breath, compose themselves, and then go forward to hit the double, okay? Because obviously that's the winning moment. That's them winning the leg or winning the match or winning the set or whatever it is, okay? It's of importance. You never see any of the pros or anybody who hits, you know, even a few 180s a day, step back when they're trying to pile in that third dart, okay? It's all about rhythm. If you stay in rhythm, your darts should follow. Oh my God, that was almost perfect. But don't get me wrong, that last dart there was horrific. Sometimes it can happen, okay? I got very excited then because that was almost the perfect clip. It wasn't, we move on. But it's the same principle. Even though that last dart was snatched quite badly, at no point did the rhythm of my throw change. It was the same speed, the same motion every single time. Doesn't necessarily mean it'll always go in, but it's the perfect, it gives you the best opportunity to be able to pull it off. Oh, that's such a bad dart. That was literally the perfect marker for me, and I've wasted that. Another extra thing that I'm going to say as well. When you feel like you're finding that first treble a lot, that is great. Change your eye line for the second dart. Make sure you change it and look at the dart. Don't try and fixate yourself on the smaller target. The dart itself is a much bigger target to try and hit with the next dart. The last thing I'm going to tell you is it is all about your grouping. So let's move on from the fact of, you know, struggling to get a 180 because of how small of the target is, okay? Don't even think about where this first dart goes. Wherever it goes, aim for your next two to follow it. Try and get it as tight as they can be, and then hopefully that might be tight enough that it would then fit into the treble section. It is all about following that first dart. So, wherever this first dart goes, my other two will follow. That was not very good. Now, it's not about where the first dart goes, it's not about what you score, just about following. So now, poor example again. Really poor example. Oh, that was a terrible last. And there, right there, is another prime example for how that is going to help you group, which will then lead you to hitting more 180s. Guys, let me know in the comments below if any of those tips have helped you hit any more 180s, or if it's helped you hit your first ever 180. If you are new around here, guys, make sure you drop a subscription on this video. Make sure you turn your notification bell on as well. If you have enjoyed the video, make sure you like, share it to a few of your mates. This is the last video of 2025. The next one will be out on New Year's Day. So I really hope you have a really, really good New Year's Eve, and I'll catch you in 2026. I'll see you later.